Okay guys, on the bench today, it's a Les Paul. No, it's an Indio guitar. The Indio Classic. Bolt-on neck, Les Paul shape. And you got yourself a volume, three-way toggle, tone control. You got the tailpiece and the, looks like a dark wood, ebony looking kind of a fretboard with the pearloid inlays, the trapezoid inlays. And this guitar came in for a setup and a restring, but he's also wants to upgrade it. So he got himself the Duncan Distortion Humbucker, the SH-6B Duncan Distortion in black. So we're going to install this pickup for him. Take this thing out and let's get started on it. So Indio guitars, an inexpensive brand. Pretty sure you can get them on Amazon. Guys, keep in mind that I do have an Amazon link down in the description of all my videos. If you are going on Amazon for any reason, hit the link in the description down below, and I can make like freaking 3 pennies for every $1,000 that you guys buy. But it's a little bit, right? It all adds up. So yeah, click on that Amazon link I have. But I'm pretty sure these guitars are sold on Amazon. And it's an Indio guitar. And I'm just going to get in here real quick. And let's take a good look at the fretboard here. Because you know how I am, I love to shine stuff up. So you can see it's got some sort of residue or something. Polishing compound or something all along in here. It's really bad right in here. The fretboard, I think it probably just needs cleaned. The fret ends, I'm going to call them, on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm going to call these things about a 4. Because they're borderline, they're going to cut you. So, just to be a nice guy. Now, this is a basic, I'm charging this guy for a basic restring and to install the pickup. But just to be a nice guy, I'm going to hit these fret ends a little bit. And this is definitely, I'm not getting paid for this, but it makes for a good video, right? So I got my StewMac fret file. And the top is completely flat. The bottom is kind of got a rounded sort of radius to it. That's the side that I use against the fretboard, is the rounded side. And I just going to give it one swipe. To hit these corners. Oop, there was 2 swipes. Okay. Then we're going to switch hands and go lefty and do this side. Okay. And that right there made a world of difference. I'm not going to bother with the top side of the guitar, because it's mostly this bottom side that you feel. Now, just to really make it nice, I got a StewMac microfiber cloth. And we'll just hit it like this a little while. Wow. Suddenly this went from a $150 guitar to about a $1,000 guitar with that fretboard. Just those fret ends just being nice and smooth like that. Okay, so let's put a little bit of this Music Nomad F1 oil on. Let's clean the fretboard for a while. I know I got all this pickup to put in and everything. I'm kind of slow boating the actual thing here. Turn my soldering iron on. Get that thing warmed up. Let's take a paper towel and just sort of spread this F1 oil on here. And I'm pretty sure this is going to clean all that puffing compound and that weird residue that we see on the neck. I'm thinking this will get rid of that. Now the guy that just brought this guitar in, he's an appliance repair guy. And I'm like, you're an appliance repair guy? He's like, yeah, I am. So I actually, my oven at my house, it needs a new heating element or something, right? And so he's going to install a heating element for me. It's funny, when other services, like, when I needed my house painted, I waited for a guy to come in the store that paints houses. When you need a plumber, you wait for a guy that comes into the store that's a plumber. When my air conditioner went out, I waited for a guy that comes into the store that works on air conditioners. And so, I'm a landscaper. When I needed my lawn cut, I waited for the landscaper to come in, and then we kind of work out a deal together. So yeah, the guy that owns this does appliance repair. This is not my guitar, this is a customer's guitar. So hopefully he can get my stove going. I haven't been able to cook a frozen pizza in a long time. The kids are like, Dad, get the stove fixed. All right. So clean that up nicely. And now to really make the frets look nice, we'll take a little bit of this 1200 grit sandpaper and the fretboard guard, and we'll just hit these frets. Nice and easy. Don't rub on them so hard that you're trying to, take material off the frets. This guitar already looks like it has sort of short and narrow frets on it. As far as the fret wire, not very tall wire. It's not very wide. Not much meat on them, even though it's a new guitar. But I kind of like this fret wire. If you're in like a punk rock band where you're just blasting through bar chords, the smaller wire is easier to get through the bar chords, because the big tall super jumbo fret wire, extra jumbo fret wire, that kind of slows you down, gets in your way. So if you're a lead guitar player that shreds, I understand the extra jumbo fret wire. If you're a kid that's playing punk rock, or even an older guy, if you're playing punk rock, you want to blast through bar chords really quickly, I would not go for the extra jumbo wire. Okay. So there we go. Now what I do is I take I just take a rag and then I just do this for a while. All right, so now let's get the camera over here. And let's take a second look at the fretboard. They got some shine to them. The F1 oil, you know, hydrated and cleaned the fretboard. You don't see any more of that polishing compound in there. It's a nice neck now. It's going to feel totally different to the guy playing it. Oh yeah. It's going to feel great. Alright, so pickup swap. Okay, I'll move this out of the way because it'll just fall around. You know what? One thing that I kind of want to do here for a second. There's my front door. But let's ohm out this pickup and see where it was at. Let's see what we're taking out. All right, so let's do this. We're going to ohm out the pickup that is currently in this guitar that came stock with this Indio guitar. And this is 15.09 on the ohm meter. So the pickup that is in here, I would consider this pickup to be super hot. So this is probably a, if you want to play like high gain stuff, this is probably a great sounding pickup. Let's go ahead and throw some strings on it. Today's strings, D'Addario, nickel wound, 10 through 46. Look at that, they got the brand new NS Capo Pro. And the okay, this thing, don't use these things, guys. I don't understand exercising your fingers. You're just going to wear your fingers out, okay? If playing guitar hurts your fingers, don't play guitar. If you need to exercise your fingers to get, the way to do that is by playing your guitar. I don't know, those things just... Everybody, it seems like they're trying to invent the new guitar gadget. And none of the new guitar gadgets that people are inventing do anything. You know, the best new guitar gadget in the last 20 years has been the Snark headstock tuners. These things have revolutionized guitar playing, and every guitarist in the world has them now. Back in the old days, it was hard to tune your guitar. Nowadays, you just use one of these Snark tuners, and this is the rechargeable one. And Snark's coming out like, dude, this is the newest thing, rechargeable. But you know what? I've got an old Fender one right here. And this doesn't have a battery in it. Let me see if I can turn this thing on. Yep, there you go. This has a little USB thing in the bottom. And my cell phone The same thing that charges my own old cell phone fits in this Fender. So Fender had this rechargeable technology way before Snark did. This was in a guitar case. I buy used guitars and you dig through the cases and you know, you're hoping that there's gold watches and stuff in the guitar cases. Because back in the old days, guys would hide stuff from their whoever, wives or whoever. And so, you know, occasionally you heard stories about some of these guys back in the day finding old guitars, old gold watches and stuff like that. I'm hoping to just find capos and tuners and picks and stuff like that. Or maybe somebody's bag of weed, right? But other than that, you know, there's always been the stories of guys finding really cool stuff in a guitar case. Just like when you buy an old hot rod and you dig through the trunk. Never know what you're going to find in the trunk. Makes it kind of fun. The same thing happens with guitar cases. I love buying guitars. Selling guitars is fun, but I love buying guitars too. It's become an addiction. I have tons of guitars in my store. I have 400 guitars plus in my store. And guys are asking, are you doing reverb? And usually I've been saying no, I'm not doing reverb. But coming up soon, guys, I'm going to list a whole bunch of stuff on reverb. And then I'm going to make a video, or I'm going to do a live stream talking about and showing you everything I have for sale that is available on Reverb. So look out for that coming soon. You know, I was worried about, you know, you have to ship guitars and that's a hassle. And you don't get trade-in guitars and that kind of is a bummer. But I've decided, you know what, and then you get that $10.99 at the end of the year, and I've decided, you know what, I have to move some gear. So coming up soon here, I'm going to list a whole bunch of stuff on Reverb. And then the day that I list it all, or the very next day, probably do a live stream where I sit around and I show everything that I have for sale and what is currently listed on Reverb. Okay, so let's see how this Fender tuner works. It says it's on. It has a G that stands for guitar. It's looking good so far. You know what? Let me snip these out of the way. Get these things out of the way. There we go. Let's tune this thing up. The tuners feel kind of cheap. I can see that that pickup needs to be raised, so we can go ahead and get that done real quick. There's always all kinds of controversy about how high pickups should be. Okay, now I'm going to stretch these strings out a little bit, so you always have left hand up here to protect the nut. Just tug on them a little bit. Careful with that high E string, because you'll snap it quick. Okay, let's tune it up again. Okay, the new Fender, old Fender tuner is, it doesn't move and then suddenly it moves real quick. Come on now, baby. Work with me here. Okay. All right. I got that truss rod a little bit too tight. Let's take a look here. Oh yeah. Put some back bow on her. I'm gonna have to go back down here and loosen the truss rod a little bit. Oh, we'll try it right there and see what happens. Yeah, sometimes you don't want to let go of your wrist. Oh, my tuner just died. I'll plug it in again. It's probably been setting in its case for a long time. Go ahead and look at this neck again. Got my not straight edge on here. Oh, it still needs loosened a little bit more. I guess I went a little bit crazy when I tightened that thing. Okay, so, you know, we ohmed out the pickup that we took out of this guitar. Let's take a look at the pickup that I put into the guitar. Again, it's a Duncan distortion. So we took out a pickup that was in the 16, ohmed out at like 16 something. And that's what I would consider to be very hot. We put in a pickup now. I hope you guys can see that. Okay. Make sure that the volume is up. 16.29. So this one's just a little bit hotter. I honestly hope my customer can hear the difference. You know, pickups are magnets, right? And if one, you know, I say ohms out, but if one ohms out at 16.1 and you change it to one that ohms out at 16.2 or 3, is there really going to be a dramatic difference there? Sure, it's a quality pickup, but I'm not sure. You know, again, there's a lot to be said about, you know, does it look badass in there? Yes, it does. Is it going to make you want to play this guitar by having that pickup in there? Yes, it will. There's reasons for doing it. But your audience that you're in front of, are they going to be able to hear a difference? You know, are you going to be able to hear the difference? I don't know. I'm going to say the psychology of it is, it means that, yeah, it's so good now. It sounds so good. I don't know. Leave it in the comments what you guys think. I kind of, you know, I know I'm being sort of pessimistic, but I'm kind of thinking that the pickup that was in there is very, very similar to the pickup that I just installed. And there's not going to be much difference in the overall tone. I could be way wrong. Guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. And yeah, I hate to burst everybody's bubble on, oh man, installing these things, it's going to be the best thing you ever heard. Well, the pickup that we took out, in my opinion, was very, very similar in sounding. So anyhow, right, it's a fun guitar to have. I'm sure my customer will enjoy it. I don't know if he'll watch this video, but if he does, then he can, you know, it's just my viewpoint. He might be able to hear a difference in this, and it might just blow his mind on how nice this guitar is and how fun he's having with it. So hopefully that's the case. Anyhow, I will see you guys in the next video. Everybody have a great day.